Welcome you guys, welcome to Kiran Swathi new tutorials. In last lecture we have discussed about structure of monocotyledon seed and dicotyledon seed. Right? Now we are going to discuss a new topic. So that is about a semi-technical description of flowering plants. So what is our new topic today? So that is semi-technical description of a flowering plant. If you want to describe a flowering plant, you should give all those details in a ordered way, right? So what is the order to describe a flowering plant? So now we are starting with the, so if you want to describe, so you should start with the habit, where it is available, and it is a shrub or herb or a tree. You should mention all those details in this habit. After this, you should mention about vegetative characters. So under vegetative characters, you should mention about a root, stem, leaves. First you should write the root. It is having which type of root system, either taproot system, fibrous root system or adventitious root system. So later you should write, so if any special features it is there related to that root system, you should write all those details like stem and leaves, right? So it is about vegetative characters. So after vegetative characters you should write about a floral characters. So floral characters starting with the inflorescence. It will show which type of inflorescence, racemose, cymose or special type of inflorescence. You should write about that inflorescence. So later about various floral parts, like first you should write about a calyx. Group of sepals it is called as calyx, and later about petals, and group of petals what we call as corolla. Later about a group of stamens, so that is called as what? Androecium. Later about a group of pistils, what we call as, so that is a gynoecium, right? So in this way you should write these floral characters. So after floral characters you should write about a floral formula and a floral diagram, right? So along with this you should write about a fruit, a seed, later a floral formula, later about a floral diagram, right? So in this way you should describe a flowering plant. So now we are going to discuss about this floral formula. What is floral formula? So we are going to discuss about that floral formula. Floral formula is nothing but it is a symbolic representation of various floral parts. So we are representing with the symbols. We are using various symbols. We will discuss all those symbols now, right? So what is the use of this floral formula? It is helpful for presence. Easily we can know the presence or absence of particular floral parts. Those are present or absent. Easily we can know the help of this floral formula. So along with this, so easily we can know the sexuality. It is unisexual or bisexual, and along with this symmetry and cohesion between various whorls and adhesion between various whorls and position of the ovary. Easily we can know with the help of this floral formula, right? So what type of symbols we are using in a floral formula? So first we are starting with the BR. So BR, it stands for bracteate. If the brackets, if it is present, so then we are writing BR. Bracket is present. If the bracket it is absent, so then we are writing with the EBR. So EBR, it stands for what? It stands for abractate. Abractate means a bracket is absent. So letter about a BRL, a bracteolate. BRL, it stands for what? Bracteolate. Bracteolate means what? Bracteoles is present. So letter about a EBRL. EBRL, it stands for what? Abracteolate. So abracteolate means bracteoles absent. Right? So letter about here it is a unisexual flower or bisexual flower. So see, so this symbol, it is indicating a male flower. So it is indicating what? So it is indicating a male flower, or it is also called as a staminate flower, or it is also called as a unisexual flower, right? So it is representing with what? So it is representing a female flower. Female flower or pistillate flower or unisexual flower, that is representing with this symbol, right? So letter about a symmetry. So it is a actinomorphic. So it is what? Actinomorphic. Actinomorphic means it will show which type of symmetry? A radial symmetry. So letter about a zygomorphic. So zygomorphic, it representing which type of symmetry? It is a bilateral symmetry. What is radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry? Radial symmetry means the flower, it can be divided into two equal halves in any direction. We call as radial symmetry. If we are dividing in two equal halves in particular direction only, so then what we call as this type of symmetry, bilateral symmetry. So letter about various floral parts. So it is a calyx. So fusion of sepals, we are representing with what? A calyx, that is representing with a K, right? And fusion of petals, what we call as a corolla, right? So it is what? A corolla. And fusion of a collection of stamens, what we call as that is, so that is a androecium. So that is representing with what? A. And collection of pistils or carpels, what we call as gynoecium. So that is representing with what? G. So here a perianth. Perianth we are representing with a P. Right? So see, if the calyx, if the sepals, if it is a 5 sepals, it is present. So those are united, or those are fused, or those are free. If those are united, those are fused, so we should put brackets. If those are not fused, those are free in condition, no need to put brackets. Right? So here the brackets, it representing what? So it representing a united condition or fused a condition. So later about epipetalous, epipillus and gynandrous conditions. So later epipetalous means what? The stamens are attached to the petals. So stamens we are representing with what? A androecium, right? So those are attached to what? Petals. Group of petals what we call as corolla. The stamens are attached to the petals. So then the type of condition what we call as epipetalous condition. That is this epipetalous condition, it is found in a Solanaceae family. So if you will see in Liliaceae family, we will find a epiphyllus. The stamens are attached to the perianth. So then this type of condition what we call as a epiphyllus. So it is found in a Liliaceae. If the stamens are attached to the gynoecium, so then this type of condition what we call as a gynandrous. Right? So it is the way of representing a floral formula. So along with this, see here the gynoecium it is present now. So based on the position of the ovary, either superior ovary or inferior ovary or half inferior or half superior ovary. So see, it is the gynoecium. So then this type of ovary it is called as a superior ovary. So then this type of ovary what we call as, it is a inferior ovary. So then it is a half inferior or half superior ovary. Right? So in this way we are representing that floral formula, we are using various symbols. So later we will discuss about a floral diagram. Right? So what about floral diagram? So before going to discuss about floral diagram, so first I will write a floral formula related to the Brassicaceae family or mustard family. So later we will discuss about this floral diagram. So see, here the floral formula related to the Brassicaceae is abractate, actinomorphic, bisexual, a calyx, a 2+2 arrangement, 2 inside, 2 are outside, a corolla, those are 4 in number, those are not united, so that's why no need to put brackets. Later about stamens, it is representing with a androecium. So here the 2 stamens are outside and 4 stamens are inside. Later about a gynoecium, the position of the ovary superior, the 2 carpels, so those are fused, so that's why we are putting a brackets, right? So it is the floral formula, it's related to what? So it is related to the mustard plant. So what is floral diagram? So floral diagram, it is helpful for to provide the information about various floral parts. So how they are arranged. So the relationship between various whorls and cohesion as well as adhesion. So here this dot, it is indicating a posterior part of the flower. And bract, it is indicating the anterior part of the flower. Right? So along with this estivation also easily we can know that a floral diagram. So now I will make the floral diagram. So based on this floral formula. So see. So here the how many calyx it is present? Those are 4 in number. So here the sepals are indicating with the this way. Sepals are indicating with this symbol and petals are indicating with this symbol, right? So total how many calyx it is present? 2 plus 2. 2 outside, remaining 2 are inside. Those are not fused, right? So let us about a corolla. So see, total how many it is present? 4 in number. So those are fused or separated. So those are separated. So that's why we are not putting brackets. Right? So it is a corolla. Later about androecium. So how many stamens it is present? 2 plus 4 condition. So here the 2 stamens. So those are outside and remaining 4 stamens. Right? So it is present towards the inside and remaining towards the outside. So here the gynoecium. How many carpels it is present? 2 in number. Right? Right? So those are fused. That's why both are it is present. Both the carpels it is present inside this gynoecium. Right? So 2 in number. So it is the way representing that floral diagram. So easily we can know the floral diagram with the help of a floral formula. So along with this, so here the mother axis, it is representing with water. So it is representing with the dot. So it is a posterior part of the flower. So here the bract it is present or absent. So generally the bract it is representing anterior part of the flower. So but here it is a abracted in condition. So that's why here the bract is a absent, right? So it is about a floral diagram. So it is the floral formula. So with the help of this one, easily we can know the various floral whorls and position and relationship between various whorls, right? So I hope it is helpful for you guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.